Norcross, and welcome to Up Crossers Creek. Together we will navigate the often quite interesting world of the Indigo child and adult. This show is produced by the wonderful Colleen Kelly for Haggy Shack Radio and relayed on Wolf Spirit Radio. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Emily Norcross, your host for Crossers Creek, and today is June 11th, 2016, and the wonderful Colleen is my producer, as always. This is a listener-supported radio. Colleen produces for Haggy Shack Radio and Wolf Spirit Radio, and they both have donate buttons on the side of the page. If you donate, that would be wonderful. If not, sit back and enjoy the show. All donations are used for the running of both stations. So we have an archive that is available for a week at no cost, but if there's anything older that you would like to listen to, the archive costs $5 a month, and you will not be set up for automatic subscription. There will be a message sent to your email to confirm, and if you have any questions or please make sure that you put them in caps while you are in the chat. So today is kind of a different show. I posted on the forum earlier today that we're going to kind of go over the Indigo education. Most of you know that I was homeschooled as a child. My mom did this around 7th grade because she noticed that I was not fully fitting in with the children in my school, in my area, pretty much anywhere. And she noticed that my academics were far lower than they should have been. For being in 7th grade. So my mom homeschooled me for 2 years, found out what essentially made me tick as a child, and once I became more open and less fussy after we started with the horses full time, my reading levels, math levels, and everything else went, skyrocketing. So to give you guys an update, I have the wonderful Stephanie Dietz coming to the show next weekend. She will be discussing with me the different schools that they have available, and also she will be discussing what it's like to raise a rainbow child. So I am super excited about that. It's going to be a wonderful time, a great session. And I'm really looking forward to that. So to touch base on the different schools that are around, the Montessori school, the Waldorf school, and it looks like the Global Village school are different types of schools that offer the kind of atmosphere rainbow children and indigo children need. So I went to these different websites the other day and did some research about what each school is about. And the one thing that I saw every school say is that they are very active with academics, but they push a lot of the creative stuff that rainbow children and indigos are pretty familiar with. And I mean activities like painting, arts, crafts, music, theater, anything that's fun and exciting and can keep the students kind of, I don't know what the word I'm looking for, and it's probably some stupid word, keep them interested. I was really I've always known about the Montessori schools, but I never truly understood what a Montessori school is. So I'll just read you from their direct website. It's montessori.edu. It's a certified Montessori school. They're trained administrators and teachers to help direct and give traditional group lessons. But the groups don't get so large from what I understand. They tend to be a much smaller group. So they really do find time for the one-on-one. What for Indigos and Rainbow children, one-on-one tends to work better for us because when we're in groups, we tend to get really frustrated because so much is going on, and at that point, we don't know what's going on, and we see a squirrel outside the window, and we'll pay attention to the squirrel for 40 to maybe even an hour at a time. It's pretty fantastic. So these different schools really offers a lot. It offers Indigos and Rainbows to really connect with the education that they need, with the social experiment, or the social experience that they need, not experiment, excuse me. So, I said in my first radio show that Indigos tend to have kind of a standoff, relationship with other students. They don't really get to know too many people, considering the fact that in normal public schools, especially for myself, everybody in public schools were just they weren't really easy to understand me. They didn't understand change, they didn't want to know change, and because I was different, of course, I got mocked for it. So, I have this understanding that these schools are so much better for the Indigos and Rainbows of that nature because it's just, they allow them to grow better. And I believe the schooling is different from grade to grade. I think they only move the students when they are ready to be moved. They do offer Montessori schools for ages 0 to 3, then 3 to 12. They have a whole section. You could do Montessori at home. They've got the materials on the website. So if you're interested in the Montessori school for yourself or anything else like that, I would definitely look into it. I was really impressed by their website, I have to admit. Went to a couple of YouTubes, saw people talking about it, admitting that they were truly ecstatic with the way that the staff treats the students. I do know that there was a graduate a couple years ago that completely owes her success to one of the teachers at a Montessori school. Granted, every kid at every school usually has a favorite teacher, and they could always say, oh yeah, I owe my success to Mr. or Mrs. Smith. Well, that's great, but it's usually not an Indigo saying, yeah, my math teacher, we really got along. That was, yeah, I owe it to her. Nope, probably not. But here, they help the Indigos and the Rainbow children truly address themselves to be the wonderful kids that they can be, and grow up to be wonderful adults as well. So the next school I kind of wanted to touch base on is called the Global Village School, and their motto is educating for a better world, one person at a time. I thought their website was really kind of cute. I saw that there was a lot going on. They've got a definition of Indigo children are welcome to enroll in the Global Village School. Global Village will be the official school of record, maintaining student files, providing written evaluations, issuing official transcripts, and providing diplomas upon graduation. We provide curriculum, regular or customized, for the individual teacher support. Families can also choose to purchase the curriculum only or work on Global Village teachers on selecting courses. So, they are very compatible with the needs of an Indigo child. Again, I did some more research on this specific school because I see their front page talks about Indigos. We need to have that activity. We need to be hands-on. I know when I think it was 5th or 6th grade, they said that the special ed children didn't need to go to art class. Why not? Art class was my favorite time. I mean, that was the only time that I truly felt creative. Mind you, I cannot stick macaroni to construction paper to save my life. Could not do it. I was horrible at it. But still, I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed making something of myself. So they have a learning style assessment that you can go to that will help get each child a specific plan for what they need. It's a profile that works on the core curriculum for the student. Now, it's not the core curriculum that everybody hears so much about. It's a core curriculum for the independent student. They do offer consultations for it. They say a self-portrait learning style profile was created by the 2 of their Global Village colleagues. I cannot say the one, Marimima Willis and then Victoria Hodson, and featured in their books, Discover Your Child's Learning Style. So there was a lot of thought put into this. I know that they've got the profiles at a pretty decent cost, so if you're interested or know somebody who has a child who is ADD, ADHD, dyslexic, learning disabled, even just average, they've got a custom plan for each one of those children. And I really wish that they were around back when I was homeschooled, because I think this would have been pretty much what my mom and I were doing anyway. Mom really focused on reading and math to get me pretty much up to speed, and between the tutoring and the book work that I did and Kumon and everything like that, I did get up to speed pretty quickly. And even when I posted for the class itself, or high school, it was, I think I was reading and doing math above my grade level at the time. So 8th grade, I think it was a 12th or 11th grade math level and a 12th grade reading level, something of that nature. But I think this is pretty much what we were doing just far before this. They do have a lot of information. Again, I've posted the links on my forum that I put in this morning. It's got testimonials and reviews about everything that they do. They're truly interactive with students, especially at home. So you don't have to go anywhere specific. You could do everything right from your house. I was lucky as a child because there was a homeschooling group that I was able to go to every Wednesday. Even though they truly hated me, I was still pretty much allowed to be there and interact with the children that were there. The group thought I was too worldly, so they thought it was pretty interesting. So they've got a link on who's using what, where it's being used, what draws people to the school, and they have, I believe there's a video from their graduation, one of their graduations. And it's almost tear-jerking because you could see the excitement of the kid. And they've got the high school curriculum, the K through 8 curriculum, customized. You could just buy the curriculum. You've got all your resources on their website. Adult education, school partners. I mean, it truly is becoming an Indigo world. And more of these schools are popping up and giving us a lot of information for everything that we need. I really like the Global School, Village School. That's something really awesome, and I keep hating to repeat myself, but definitely check out these links. If you know somebody or you are looking to do something for your children like that, please take a look at these because these are pretty much spot on. So the other school that I kind of want to touch base about real quickly is the Waldorf education. They do unbelievable stuff as well. I mean, each school has their own qualities, but they're catering to the rainbow and indigo children of the society that we are currently in. I think it is, I think it's pretty exciting that the Waldorf has been around. They do accept donations, by the way. Annual fund, honorary gift. You could also look into their events that they've got going on, any news articles, questions, quotes, testimonials, essentials in education blog. I thought this part was actually really fantastic. The importance of productive solitude. So, again, a lot of us Indigos and rainbow children tend to kind of hang by ourselves when we're younger. And this truly does allow the child to be independent and work. They have an outdoor education, which that would have been right up my alley. I mean, the second mom started putting me into horse stuff full time as a 7th grader, I was everywhere and anywhere. I was outside with the horses all the time. I was working nonstop in the barn. I was, mucking stalls for horse lessons. So this would have been pretty awesome. So, again, with the Waldorf school, I believe Stephanie Dietz's daughter continues education with the Waldorf education. I don't know if she goes to a specific school or if she does it from home, but we're going to definitely talk to Stephanie about that next week. You can find the schools on their search. They've got early childhood education, directories for international schools, which is great because it's not just here in the United States. They're starting to realize this all over the world. In my thought, I believe the United States is kind of a little slow in understanding the whole rainbow and indigo children. It seems that it's being accepted more everywhere else than it is here. And we're here, since I think it was 1979 is when they started to really see that there are indigos and rainbow children, and we're very different from the quote-unquote normal kids. Today, when I was talking to Stephanie Dietz, she said that she was at a Edward Casey event, and she was sending me photos of it's called the Adventure Inward, the Indigo Child. I was absolutely floored by this article. I believe it was published, if I could just zoom in on this. 2000, this was posted. And the article is fantastic. It's a question and answer article from, if I could find her name, something Tober. But she says a lot of things in here that really hits home. And I wish this was on the internet when I did my first radio show, because it does talk about finding a special school for your child or having a special education for your child, because it will help grow them as not only a child, but as into an adult. They've got all of these, I'm trying to think. So one of the questions in here is, they're fearless because they know who they are. And the answer was, yeah, they believe in themselves. So, and this goes both ways for not just the indigo children, but for the rainbow children. These schools help reinforce that we are special, that we create this almost a vortex of energy when we're around. And it's not that we try to steal the show from anybody or be better than somebody else. It's just the way our energy flows through us to everything else. I wish Mom would actually come on and talk, because she could talk about the differences of raising me and raising my brother, because we are two different people. My brother is very laid back. He's very quiet. He doesn't really speak too much. On the other hand, you obviously know I speak way too much, sometimes put my foot in my mouth, and I try to smile while doing so. But it's it's something I have to say to parents who have Indigos, because I am not a parent right now, and at this point, I don't know if I could ever speak to it, but the parents who are out there who have rainbow children, who have Indigo children, stick with your gut. Mom did, and I would say I kind of turned out pretty successfully. I have no regrets for my childhood once I started getting homeschooled, because it was then allowing me to show the world who I knew I was. Not necessarily that I wanted to be, but who I was. I give a lot of recommendations for these 3 schools that I've mentioned, which is the Global Village School, Montessori schools, and Waldorf education. They have phenomenal ratings across the board. Yeah, there are some people who there's always going to be the person that says, oh, well, I hated them, but the kid got the really good education. I would say that a lot of what they do is based on how well the student does, and they pride themselves on doing well for the students. I've seen actually I knew somebody who went to a Montessori school, and I didn't realize this until just now. He went after he was having a difficult time in public school. And as soon as his mom sent him to the Montessori school, it's like his entire personality changed. Not personality, so to speak, but his entire mood changed. He was far better to get along with. He wasn't so depressed. He was able to get his creativeness out. And I think the best part of it is they do really want to work on the creative aspect of the Indigo and Rainbow children. I love the fact that the art that I've seen on the website from the kids or have Googled from, it's exceptional. It's breathtaking. And to be able to call myself an Indigo child and be able to be the same as somebody who's putting out artwork that is far superior in my eyes than half the stuff that's being put out now that they call art, is phenomenal. You know, and I gotta hand it to the parents and the teachers and the kids themselves for knowing that they're better than, you know, they say they are. They put forth their work and say, okay, well, this is decent. Okay, I'll just go ahead and put this through. It's fine. But I would like to also say that I want to put my artwork into the fair, but I don't know if I want to put my artwork into the fair. Well, they do it so many times that they start to realize that they really truly have a gift. And the gift is something to share with the world. My gift is horses. I'm able to figure them out easier than anybody else. But somebody who could paint better than Leonardo da Vinci, I mean, they should share that talent with the world. There's so many beautiful ways that indigos and rainbow children affect themselves into this world. And I think now that we're becoming a more awake society, rainbow children and indigo children are really going to start to take positions of, I wouldn't necessarily say power, but they're going to hold a little weight. We tend to understand situations a little more out of the box than usual. The other interesting part of the article that Stephanie was showing me was these children believe in themselves. If you're trying to tell them something, they're doing something wrong, they believe in themselves. They don't know what you know, but they know you're not talking about what they know. I know that sounds extremely confusing, and I'll try to break it down as best as I can. If I know I'm doing something to the best of my ability and somebody tells me that I'm wrong, I question them. I question them not because I'm trying to be a pain in the butt. Well, I might try to do that to be a pain in the butt, but regardless, I'm trying to find out what their reasoning is behind it. And they mentioned something about that on the Waldorf Education School. They said that we try to be personally acquainted with the students so that they can understand that we're on the same playing field, that we're trying to achieve the same common goal. So as long as you work with an indigo or a rainbow child, they work for you. Stephanie did say that there's a spot where the rainbow children and indigo children kind of, they don't accept disrespect. We, in fact, try to squash it as best they can. And there was a part of the article where they said a kid spit in somebody's face because they were wrong. Well, she shared a nugget of information that I'm going to have her share with you guys next weekend. And I just started laughing because it truly is an indigo. We don't give respect unless it's earned. And I know it's always been, oh, we have to respect the elders, or we have to respect this person because of such and such a thing, and I told you you have to respect them, so respect them. Well, we don't really necessarily work that way all the time, which is sad because we've got endless amounts of banks that we could store information in. So at this point, I mean, I'm kind of touching base on everything. If anybody wants to call in, anybody has any questions, please put them on the chat for me so that I can find out what's going on and answer any questions. And if you want to call in, talk about any of the research that I've done on any of these schools, I'd be more than welcome to talk about it. It's nice to see when not only students are talking about the school, but the professors who have taught for the school talk about the wide range of people that they've met and how incredibly proud they are to put their name on something that wonderful. There is a link that I will send to it's a YouTube page that I will send to you guys on the chat. It's really kind of cool. And I think that you guys would truly enjoy watching it. It's from the Waldorf Education School. I've watched it a couple times today, and I thought it was pretty informative. It's called Preparing for Life, which is something that a lot of us don't tend to get, especially coming out of high school. I had no idea what I wanted to do when I grew up. And at this point in my life, I don't even know what I want to do when I grow up. But it helps break down indigos and show them what they need to do so that they could become a successful adult. I'm trying to bring up my other links so that I can tell you about that. It's pretty phenomenal that a lot of indigos are getting full scholarships to Ivy League schools. They're starting to see that the intelligence level that we carry for these schools and for being indigos and rainbows is pretty recognizable. I would like to say that as graduates come out of the Global Village School, Montessori, and Waldorf, they get really well acceptance rates. I can't necessarily say what percentage, but I know each school talks about a lot of their students in great numbers get accepted to colleges and universities all around the world. I know they're exceptionally proud because any school, any college, any university is a big deal, but Harvard, Yale, just some amazing schools. And you could read from graduates talking about how they got into Cornell or MIT. I mean, it brings a tear to your eye because it's so fantastic seeing other children that are indigo and rainbow succeed and know what they're doing and they're doing something so fantastic for themselves and other indigos. And they always say, oh, I owe it to the Global Valley School or Montessori or, my teachers with Waldorf. It's so heartwarming. For those of you who don't know, Randolph Steiner is the creator of the Waldorf education. One of his quotes is, the Waldorf education is not a pedagogical system, but an art. The art of awakening is actually there within the human being. That speaks a lot of words. Not a lot of words. That speaks volumes for what is actually going on. And it is an art. And there's so much awakening that needs to be done within the human being, not just, us indigos and rainbow children, but everybody. And the fact that they can cater to normal children, to the ones who are, special, it really lends itself to the quality work that they do for their students. I just started following on Facebook the Association of Waldorf Schools of North America. And they posted, I think it was the 9th, but it showed up on my timeline today. As we attempt to move forward, allowing children more freedom to explore their world, and the emphasis on the word risk shows that we still haven't let go of the mindset of the helicopter parent who is more aware of the danger than adventure. More focused on what could go wrong with how to prepare the kids in both independent and safe, challenging situations. I wouldn't necessarily say that my mom was a helicopter parent, but I do know a lot of people who had helicopter parents. And once the children started making successful, excuse me, Mom is Skyping me while I'm talking, and she knows that I do not have great multitasking capabilities when I read. That when their children are capable, that's when they can kind of let the leash off a little bit and let the kids go. I do really like following them on Twitter and Facebook right now because they do post some amazing things. I think that them allowing children to take risks with their schooling, their activities, their outdoor education, whatever the case is, I think it turns them into a better adult. It lets us grow. It lets us really grasp who we are and who we want to be. And man, do I wish that I had one of these schools around when I was a kid, because this would have been absolutely ideal. But, again, go to their websites, check it out. It's super cool. I mean, I'm speechless over it, I guess is the best way to say it. I know I've said a lot about it, but, in everything that I've read, it's just more and more institution for me that if I ever have kids, I would send them or do something like this for them for a school, because it's just going to allow them to be better. Both my husband and I really thought school was boring. We had no interest in it. We wanted nothing to do with it when we were kids. And looking back, if we were able to do something like this, I'm pretty sure I would have been far better. My husband, I'm pretty sure, would have been the president of the United States by now at the age of 32. But that all comes in time. So by the way, he'll probably run for president in 10, 15 years, just so you know. So vote for him. He just laughed. I think it's a great connection too, because it gives parents a place to rely on for questions and concerns and, oh my God, my kid is this. Is anybody else having this problem? And then somebody can come back and say, oh man, yeah, Betsy's having the same issue. Oh my gosh, I'm not alone. So it's not just about support groups for kids. The parents need it as well. And my mom thankfully had some really good support systems when I was going through my issues and going through my homeschooling. So she was able to deal with it because she had other people who were going through the same thing. And if they weren't going through the same thing, they at least listened and they understood. And they tried to give information and recommendations when they could. I think everybody having their own security net, especially with dealing with an indigo, is very important. I am personally not an easy person to deal with. If you heard, I think it was Deb said that I'm a hard pill to swallow. Truer words have never been spoken. But I also had a lot of support from my local friends and neighbors and family that was supporting me in everything that I did. And I truly do thank them for everything that they've done. I do think that my friend, his name was Kyle, he's the one who went to the Montessori school. Seeing him now on Facebook, it it warms my heart because he is very artistic and he is a fantastic painter. All types of material that he uses. I know he paints on anything from a brick wall to expensive canvas and oils and aerosol paints and acrylic paints and all that kind of stuff. And to have, that dedication, the way that I have for the horses, it just lends itself into how truly crafty we can be. And I don't mean crafty like, oh, we're going to get you out of the money, but crafty as being creative and intuitive and being able to speak not just with your words, but through your hands into your art. I believe my grandfather on my step-grandfather on my mom's side, he would have been all about this kind of stuff because he was a master's holder, 3 master's holder, and he would play in different orchestras and different symphony halls, and he produced his own music. So having that type of base of education, I think, would have made him really happy knowing that something like that was coming about. I know Montessori schools have been around for quite some time. I'm not exactly sure of how long they've been around, but I do know that I couldn't even give you a date or a time or anything like that. Mom would probably know better than I would. But it's not necessarily that, kids who go to the Montessori schools or Waldorf or Global Valley are bad kids. We just don't fit into normal society. We are by no means bad people, but we just truly enjoy doing everything on a different way and understanding it better, getting more into the step-by-step instruction. I'm so excited to have Stephanie next week because we're going to talk about everything she does for her child. She's a rainbow child, so it's going to be mind-blowing for me because I'm going to be able to speak to somebody who is going through this right now. I could ask Mom to speak to it, but that was 15 years ago. God, I can't believe it's 15 years ago. But it's a little different now because as I said, we're starting to open up as a nation. We're opening our eyes and we're saying, there really could be others around that are allowing this, that are different, but good different. I used to be so nervous as a kid to relate it to anybody who's read the Divergent series, from Rebecca Roth. She, basically, if you haven't read it, there's a hero named Triss, and she's what they call divergent. She could fit into 3 of the categories in their 5-category world. And they considered her dangerous, and they hunted her down, a whole bunch of stuff. I'm not going to get into spoilers, but looking back, I kind of felt divergent. I kind of felt like something's very different, and if somebody sees it, they're not going to like it. So thankfully, it wasn't that nobody got upset that I was different. They're starting to accept it. I was so worried to tell my husband about all this stuff when we were dating because I didn't know how he was going to take it because at that time we were still very new, and I was waiting for him to be like, listen, lady, you're crazy, get out of my life. Which was totally possible for him at that point. But I think that, especially finding Wolf Spirit Radio and Haggy Shack and having the support group here, because I am very different than most people I know, and being able to connect with people here that are indigos, or know an indigo, or have rainbow children, or is a rainbow child. They're able to be like, hey, you're not so weird. And I think, thank you, Lord, thank you. Somebody understands me. I know I say it every show, but I am grateful for this place. And it's something to be grateful for. We have Colleen who busts her butt all the time for us. We've got Dolly who does shows. We've got, wow, now I'm drawing a blank. My mom, Dottie, everybody else, Troy, everybody helps. And I just think it's something that's super cool about us is because we're kind of like a Montessori school and a Waldorf school. I've learned so much being here, and being able to tap into my Indigo child was fun and exciting. When I first started this, I was like, okay, this is going to be great. It's going to be, fun, exciting. I didn't think it was going to take me into my own radio show. But I did want to touch base with everybody about Annabelle, and I did want to touch base about the ghost at my parents' house and kind of keep you updated with everything that's going on there. So Annabelle has been around a lot more at the barn. We have somebody who's pretty new, and she's not really super fantastic, but Annabelle's trying. She's doing her best to help us, and she's only a ghost. She could only do so much. She can't be physical for us. And she's helping everybody. She's helping all of our employees on every shift that we've got, and I wish Annabelle wouldn't take it on herself to do all of that, because she is just a ghost and she's not supposed to be doing all that work. But, there would be days that we couldn't find one of the ducks. Sure enough, somebody went in, grabbed the chicken feed, and the duck was standing outside. These are the things that Annabelle does for us. So she's not so fantastic right now because I think she's trying to spread herself a little too thin. Relax, Annabelle. You need to calm yourself down. But she's helping, and she's keeping the attitude in the barn, the experience in the barn to a happy medium. And I'm truly thankful for her. She's helping our new girl, Patty. She's helping Joe. She's helping me. She's helping everybody that we've got there. And I wish she wouldn't feel so stressed about it, because I'm getting that feeling from her that she's just a little too frustrated. So we still don't know who her father is. We don't know his name, but we do see him every once in a while just out of the corner of my eyes. A couple days ago, I thought I saw Annabelle, but again, it was at the corner of my eye as I was turning around into the feed room. Now, I did not get a chance to go to my parents yet and see if that demon ghost guy is still there. I know I'm a bad child. I should have gone. I should have done all that. But I haven't. I've been really, really overworked. I'm very tired today and tomorrow, my first 2 consecutive days off in almost 6 months. So I'm very tired. I'm very out of sorts. I just went to the doctor about it because I'm so super stressed and super overworked and just physically and mentally tired. So I've not gotten to my parents at night yet, because usually when it becomes night, I am in bed sleeping to wake up next morning so I can go to work. I do have more interaction with my grandmother in my dreams. I did have a interaction with my grandfather the other night. Actually my pop-pop, which is my dad's father, who I usually don't have any communication with. He came into my dream completely solo. The last time I saw him, he was with my dad's mother. So they both were there, but they didn't talk. This time my pop-pop was talking to me, and, he showed me the woodpecker, which is his favorite bird. And so every time I see the woodpecker, I know pop-pop's around, which has been a lot lately because I was fixing a field in our back 40 that we have at the farm, and I look up and all of a sudden I see this beautiful red-headed woodpecker feeding a nest of woodpeckers. And I almost started crying. I couldn't because we had a new employee there, but I did feel that, I wasn't alone, so to speak. I was with everybody, and, I was being watched out for. So I think that if I can get to my parents sometime, hopefully this week at night, I would like to see if that being is still there and if he still harasses me. I don't think he is. I think we truly did send him away, thankfully. So that's wonderful. Sorry, I had to take a drink of something. But I did want to share with you guys about Annabelle. She's, spread a little thin lately, and if everybody could send some healings and some vibes for her, Prayers and jingles, everybody, for her, because I think she's just spreading herself a little thin. She's not doing so fantastic right now. And we have a horse on the farm who's injured, so we've been keeping her in our prayers as well. I would like to say, though, to speak for Shungite, I did receive a package from Nancy and Stephanie 2 weeks ago about it. And I do have to say that one of my friend's cats was feeling very ill, and she programmed it to keep, the cat's name is Rogue, to keep Rogue, breathing and happy and healthy. And at night, probably about 2 o'clock in the morning, my friend, who is a Reiki master, was on the phone with our other friend who has the cat, trying to send healing vibes and trying to take care of all that kind of stuff for the cat. And as soon as she put the Shungite around the cat's neck, the cat started breathing better. And it took like a complete 180 between the Reiki and the Shungite. So I'm taping Shungite everywhere it can go. I actually taped it underneath my horse's water buckets in his stall. I have it underneath my horse's water trough outside. All of the horses are getting it. Everywhere I could stick a piece, everything, it's going. Which is pretty fantastic. I've noticed a huge difference for myself. So if you guys haven't checked it out, definitely go check out Cosmic Reality. They've got some really interesting stuff. I've got the refrigerator magnet on my refrigerator. I'm wearing the pendant right now. The stuff it's really working, and I can feel a difference in everything that I see with my horses and my refrigerator. Me right now, not so much, because I believe that I'm sick for something. I don't know. They took blood from me the other day, so we'll try to figure out what's going on. But I did program it to keep me healthy, so maybe it is taking anything that's out right now and putting good healing vibes back in. So again, check it out. Really super cool. I was really happy with it. The stickers I'm probably going to be using in my wraps, trying to use that for anything that I need to do. My mom did suggest that, so I will give that shout out to her. Sorry, I've got 2 dogs wrestling next to me who don't know how to stop. Yeah. So yes, check out the Shungite stores. Definitely something to look into. It's really great, fantastic stuff. I completely recommend it to everybody I know. And my girlfriend's going to be ordering a whole bunch for her animals because she's got 9 cats, 2 dogs, and 9 horses. So she's going to be ordering some for all of the animals so that she can keep it in their bed and, try to keep it on the dogs at all times because they've got the pet pendants. All of my dogs have been wearing their pendants, and I've noticed a huge change in their activity levels. Everybody seems to be bouncing around a lot more. Even my older dog, Evie, is extremely happy. On a regular basis. And if anybody knows about Evie, she is by far a bitchy dog. She is not a happy-go-lucky dog by any means. But she's been playing with the pup. She's been running around. She's been a lot more active than she has been. I get worried around this time of year because she tends to have seizures. She had one about a week before we put on the Shungite, so we'll see if that seizure issue comes to come to a halt, which would be great. Because that stuff worries the heck out of me. I guess I don't have anybody asking questions right now. I'm just going to check nope, nothing right now. I did not get a chance to listen to Dolly's show today or even Say What with Nancy and Colleen. I'm sure it was good. I caught the tail end of it, and I'm glad that Nancy had Annette on the show. I know Annette was, happy and, a little bit more bubbly, so I see that she's feeling better, and I've been sending my prayers and jingles for her as well. So today was just, I wanted to give some more information about the different schools that are available for Indigos and Rainbow Children and everything that we've got going on, because the more information you can get and the wider variety of curriculums that you have for a child like us, it tends to work out. I owe a lot to those 2 years that I was homeschooled. Public school was not for me. This was 100% true. I was very happy to have a place that I could let go of all of my frustrations, my childhood. Oh, well, you know, Chanel hates me, or Adrian doesn't like me today, and I really got over that pretty quick, and I was really excited with actually being able to be me, the crazy horse girl that I am. And it lends itself to your parents again. So if you know somebody going through this, you know, tell them they're not the only ones. Show them these schools. Tell them how fantastic it will be for them. And next weekend, I cannot wait to have Stephanie on. It is so exciting. I have so many questions lined up for her and everything that we're going to talk about. She's super excited to be on as well. I think it's going to be a really great show. So stay tuned in. Next Saturday, 8 p.m. as usual, and hopefully I can get some of these images up on the website that she sent me these pictures for. This article is just amazing. The questions are phenomenal. The article itself is amazing. She's, there's another book that she had. She's going to try to get me the name of it. And it talks about what is an indigo, how do you deal with your indigo child, and there's more and more literature out there. So any questions, if there's something that you want me to cover, if there's something you want to hear more about, leave it in the chat room or post it on my forum page online. And I think that we'll try to go over it. I do want to have Dolly on at some point. I do have a list of people I want to bring on. I want to bring on Yvonne. If there's anybody specific that you would like for me to interview, definitely let me know that as well, because I think it would be a great add-on to what I do on the show as well. I think next weekend we're going to be completely full hour with Stephanie and hearing what she has to say, and the trials and tribulations, and then the exciting points of raising an indigo child and a rainbow child. Or, excuse me, she is a rainbow child. It's going to be fun. I'm really excited, and she's going to talk more about the Waldorf education that she has her daughter go to. Her daughter's adorable. I mean, if you're not friends with Stephanie on Facebook, I mean, the kid's absolutely adorable, and some of the things that they do at, I think it was a Star School. I gotta remember. Oh, jeez. I can't even remember. Looks like... I can't remember, but it's someplace, that does the education for Waldorf, and she also does all of the Shungite as well. She's the president at Cosmic Reality Shungite. And she's got all kinds of information, which is super cool. She's got, the Shungite stone, different pendants. I mean, there's so many cool things. The refrigerator magnets. There's actually a car magnet, which I didn't even know about, and I started reading about it. It was just super cool stuff, and it's supposed to really help with us indigos and rainbows. So if you guys have any questions, definitely talk to Stephanie. She's got the pendants for the dogs, and cats as well. So that's going to be really great. And then I'll let you know how it handles with all of my horses. So, it basically takes, toxic waves, puts it through the energy field for the Shungite, and then it turns into healthy waves. So it protects from Wi-Fi, it protects from cellular, all that kind of stuff, and it kind of revamps it to make you healthier. I truly love this stuff. It's the EMF, and the Wi-Fi environment kit. Definitely suggest getting that. It's fantastic. My refrigerator is running a lot colder than it has to be. I had to actually turn it down. Excuse me. And I do, that's my plug for them for the evening. And I think at this point, if anybody doesn't have any questions, Colleen, I don't know if there's anything else you want to add, any questions, anything like that. I'm pretty much
finished.
Yeah, pretty much finished.
Are you typing?
No.
I'm just hearing it thump, plump, plump, like, I don't know.
Oh, no. That might have been one of the dogs scratching.
Oh, I know how that goes. I have a cat that does it to the bedroom door.
Oh, yeah, that's fantastic, because they're really useful at the door.
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. No, it was a great show, Emily. I'm looking forward to next week.
Oh, I'm so excited for Stephanie. That's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
She's so fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Well, you both are. So getting you both together will be really, really cool.
Absolutely.
Alrighty. So you want me to take you out of here?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okie doke. We'll see you later.
Good night, guys.
Bye, everyone.
It's alright. La Luz is on my mind. She's on my mind. Homesick, but it's alright. La Luz is on my mind. She's on my mind. I swear it's 10,000 degrees